It looks like the weather's going to be pretty serious on Sunday for the Eagles. A Snow Bowl 2.0. We're going to talk about it, and it is official. Kellen Moore will be interviewing for the Dallas Cowboys for the head coaching job on Friday, and I have a lot to say about that. So let's get into it.
A killer buried, but not dead.
Darren, we better turn around. Because I've seen enough horror movies to know any weirdo wearing a mask is never friendly.
Yo, what is going on, guys? I hope everyone's having a fantastic day today. Make sure you check out BetUS. This video is sponsored by BetUS, so definitely go check them out. Lot to discuss here. I think I've been updating you guys on the whole Kellen Moore situation, and yeah, it's pretty official, guys. He will be interviewing for the Dallas Cowboys head coaching position. Okay, I hate this. Okay, number one, it brings me back to Jonathan Gannon in 2022 between the NFC Championship game to the the NFC Championship game to the 2022 Super Bowl. Okay, where we found out all the illegal tampering from Jonathan Gannon. The way that defense played in that Super Bowl was just horrific, and it seems like his focus and all the rumors about his focus not being into the team that much during that time, more worried about himself getting a job with a bigger salary than worrying about winning a football game, the most important football game for the franchise to get their second championship. And that pissed me off entirely, seeing that news afterwards. Okay? I do not want this same thing to happen with Kellen Moore having this on his mind like crazy. Now, behind the scenes, it looks like there has been news coming out on, when Kellen Moore has an interview on Friday, is he missing valuable time? Is he missing time with the team? Is he missing meetings? Is he missing practice? He is not missing anything with the Eagles. He is apparently dialed in, ready to go. And you're hoping so, because obviously this passing game needs to be better than last week. This offense needs to be running on all four cylinders. And like I said, Sunday, we'll talk about the weather, but obviously if it was a regular day, you're hoping that this offense is going to look better throughout the passing game. Obviously, Jalen Hurts missing so much time, not much of a game plan. Maybe Kellen Moore not showing all his cards. A lot of Eagle fans have been going back and forth on why the offensive struggles, the game design, the game plan wasn't as crafty as it usually is. So there's a lot to say here. I think the NFL needs to enforce a rule that whatever teams that are head coach needy, that are not in the playoffs, they cannot interview these coordinators or whoever they want to interview, these coaches that are in the playoffs right now, and have to wait till after the playoffs for that to happen, because it's just ruining things at this point. Kellen Moore is not only focusing on the team, but he's focusing on getting another job next season. Okay, now we know the Dallas Cowboys have had Deion Sanders on their mind, Robert Saleh, Leslie Frazier. They're interviewing a whole bunch of people as of right now. And if you guys didn't know, realistically, it's not normal for Kellen Moore. It's pretty normal for Kellen Moore to have interviews. Since 2020, Kellen Moore has been getting interviews for head coaching jobs. He has not won any of those jobs. Okay, he's got a lot on his plate right now, but he's got a lot of competition in front of him right now, where the OC and the DC between Ben Johnson and Glenn, whatever his name is, the defensive coordinator for the Lions, are probably going to get head coaching jobs. Okay, Mike McCarthy will get a head coaching job. So there's a lot of Joe Brady maybe. I have no idea, but there's a lot of competition in front of him right now that he has to beat for these head coaching jobs. So this could be a hit or miss, but obviously Dallas is a big spot because they'll almost hire anybody that they're close to, that they like, and third, they can control. Jerry Jones will have that, like he always does. And obviously, Kellen Moore has closer relationships with that franchise, with the front office, because he was there for 4 years, okay, before going to the LA Chargers and then obviously coming to the Philadelphia Eagles. So I don't like that him bouncing back to Dallas after being here, being successful here. What makes a guy want to go to the Dallas Cowboys as the head coach? Is it money, or is it something else? Is it to have this on your resume just because you always want to be a head coach? I don't know what the obsession is with being a head coach when you're somewhere for, in a really successful spot right now. You know what I mean? So I don't know what's going to happen here, but I think rules need to be enforced with this because I don't want this to turn into Kellen Moore taking his eye off the ball because he's worried about him getting a bigger salary and just a better job. And taking a Dallas Cowboy head coaching job is not saying too much. So that's where I am with the whole situation. This is real. He will have this interview, and like I said, he might not even get a job. He might not even beat out a lot of offensive coordinators. So we'll keep track of this throughout the playoffs and keep track of this obviously after the Super Bowl and stuff like that once we get into the offseason program for the Philadelphia Eagles. Because we all know why, and Jalen Hurts needs to stay on task with keeping the same guys in the building at least for more than a year. I mean, give me that much, you know what I mean? So that's where we're at with that entire situation with Kellen Moore. Now, it looks like for Sunday versus the LA Rams at the Link, it looks like there is a snow warning as of right now. It says the Eagles-Rams game is now expected to be full-fledged snow game with winds. 70% chance of snow throughout the day. Per the Weather Channel, there will be multiple inches of snow on the ground for kickoff with very cold temperatures. Hard snow with wind, it's going to be really interesting. That totally changes the game plan for both teams. So literally, it's like you go into a game in that type of situation, and you just need to find out what works. Okay, so things to worry about, things that the Eagles can be successful with, because the Eagles have had a snowball game in the past. It was one of the most exciting games to watch. It comes down to the quarterback, and obviously, throwing the football. Can he visibly see with the snow what's going on there? So these things do affect that. So not making a big deal about it. Jake Elliott obviously kicking the ball, how much of an effect that's going to have on that. Do they always go on fourth down if it's if it's as heavy as they say it's going to be, which I don't know if it's going to be that heavy, but you should be able to throw the football kicking it. But if there's snow, that could slow the ball down, and obviously having winds on top of it, that could affect everything. I'm still not so comfortable with Jake Elliott. I mean, I'm still kind of, at the end of the year, he's been really up and down, unfortunately. I know he only missed an extra point last week. I thought that extra point was going to haunt us before we started to get some points on the board and started to do much better in the second half. So I'm not fully comfortable with him yet, but obviously keep him on kickoffs, keep his leg warm. I think that was the best decision the Eagles did make. Don't sit him on the sideline cold where you have to, guarantee him to kick a 55-yarder to win the game. The Eagles shouldn't be in that situation regardless when it comes to Jake Elliott. So obviously been always nervous about him, but I've been feeling a little bit better, but we'll see how it goes. And realistically, it comes down to the run game. Okay. We saw what LaShawn McCoy did. That was his best rushing game of his career. And obviously Saquon beat that record this year. And with 255 yards, his best, well, not in Saquon's own career, but beating LaShawn McCoy's record. But this would be a game where, what is Saquon going to look like rushing in the snow? This could be the viable option. This could be where we win the game. I mean, obviously, I think this team could run on them regardless if there was snow or not. That undersized defense will not be able to handle Saquon Barkley, the way that offensive line manhandled them. And yes, like I said, that was weeks ago. They are a better team as of right now. The Eagles are a better team as of right now. But they think that the Eagles are just going to roll over in this game like the Vikings did literally at the end of the second quarter. It's not going to happen in this game. It's not going to be as easy as they think it's going to be, as much as they got better, where the Eagles did start playing them when they started getting hot at that moment and they were fully healthy for the first time. Because they weren't doing well in the beginning of the season because of the injuries. So might have to rely on Saquon Barkley heavy, even more heavy if it snows and there's wind, and it's hard to even, we'll be able to see if the wide receivers can see the ball, depending on how hard this snow is going to fall down. And that's what it comes down to. Won't be as bad as the Snow Bowl game. It could be, it might not be, I don't know. But whether it is just drastic, and the Eagles are built for this type of game anyway. Obviously, the LA Rams coming from the West Coast, It's going to be interesting for them, too, to come to Philadelphia in weather like this. I think the Eagles have a huge advantage in a game like this with the weather like this. So I think it's going to be fun to watch. It's going to be entertaining. And, I hope Saquon Barkley gets the ball 100 times in this game if that's going to be the case. I think he'll have some fun in a game in Philadelphia in the snow. It should be an awesome time. And by the way, Dallas Goedert wasn't at practice Wednesday. Everyone was kind of freaking out about it, but he has an illness right now. So hopefully the illness isn't that bad where, guys are getting sick. It is what it is. Hopefully it's not horrible where he's not 100% because we really do need him for Sunday or, need him for the rest of the playoffs, obviously, and just need him in general. So there was a little bit of a scare there. But oh, Jesus, just imagine. I mean, knock on wood, but you never know with Dallas Goedert. He could run into a wall, stub his toe, and that's it. He's done for 4 to 6 games. But other than that, guys, let me know what you guys think of a snowball game. If the Eagles actually have heavy snow and wind, how do you think the game plan should be? And what do you guys obviously think of Kellen Moore getting his interview with the Dallas Cowboys? Do you think the rules should be changed not to talk to potential head coaching candidates while the playoffs are going on, having to wait afterwards for interviews? Let me know, because this really I hate when this happens. I can't stand it. The Eagles can never get a break every single year when it comes to some of these interviews, when they are an important place of the season and really have to focus on things. So you guys let me know. Make sure you subscribe to the channel for more Eagles news every single day. I appreciate all the support, and definitely like the video. It helps out the channel out tremendously. And I will see you guys on the next one. Shakes what up, follow side. Peace out, guys. Peace.